Hey everybody, hey you guys. Welcome to another Fall Let's Chat Talk series. I am Sharisa T, visionary of HR Ministries, and I am excited that you guys are logging in on this evening. Listen, go ahead and do me a favor. If you could, go ahead and like, tag, and share. Tonight we have an amazing queen that I want to introduce to many of you. Some of you may know her, some of you may not, but I'm very excited to introduce her to our HR family. Hey, TG, hey, I see you. What's up? Thank you so much for joining. Hey, listen, make sure that you like, share, and comment. Go ahead and get your people in here. So glad to have you guys on this evening. We are excited. We are we're counting down. We have about one or two more series before we end this Fall Let's Chat series. But what we do is one thing about HR, if y'all know, you guys have been rocking with me. We focus on holistic learning and teaching and empowering. So we have women and men of God who talks about a variety of topics. And so tonight we're going to be talking about real estate. And I know a couple of weeks we've done about money and home ownership and things like that, but we have so many people in our network, and we just want to get you guys information about real estate. So we have an amazing queen on here tonight who is going to be talking to us. So go ahead, y'all, like, share, and share. Invite your friends. I see you guys are on here. Thank y'all so much for yet again coming on. I'm very excited about everything that God is doing and how he is just moving in our ministry. We have so many amazing things happening coming up in the new year, towards the end of this year. So, hey, make sure that you get connected. Listen, I feel like I have talked a lot. We're going to get right into this conversation tonight. We have a beautiful, beautiful soul, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. She's so pretty. I told her, I said, "Oh, you're glowing, girl. You got the glow on you. The spirit is here." So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself, and then we're going to get this conversation started. So, hey, y'all, go ahead, like, share, and share. Get your people in here as we are diving into real estate on this evening. So I turn it over to this beautiful queen.
Hello, good evening. My name is Erica Baylor. I am a local realtor in the Birmingham, Alabama area. I am honored to be with you all tonight and just to chat about real estate. I'm just looking forward to the conversation. I love the Lord, and I love real estate, and amongst some other things that God has gifted me with. And so I'm just happy to be here tonight.
Yes. And I know we're talking about real estate, but I want you to go ahead and help the people and let them know all of the things. Listen,
Okay.
tell y'all, I'm surrounded by people who are like me. Multifaceted people who are like me. So I'm excited to be able. So go ahead and segue that in there a little bit.
I also, in addition to real estate, I also have a company called Be Made Whole. I'm a certified personal trainer through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. And so I work here locally in the Birmingham, Alabama area, and I have fitness clients that entrust me with their fitness goals. I've been in business now almost 2 years. And it's just a blessing. Fitness and nutrition, natural hair care are also passions of mine. And so God has gifted me with the ability to help people be made whole, mind, body, and spirit. And so I enjoy everything that I do.
Listen, multifaceted. Like I have so many women and men around me that are doing great and mighty things. And I'm just excited about all of the new partnerships and the new things that he has brought our way. And not just my personal life, but in my ministry, man. Listen, it is one of our goals to connect with like-minded individuals who are kingdom influencers here to help us get healthy, get whole, get healed, home ownership, all those types of things. So I am excited to jump in this conversation, but I know that you have your other business, and we'll let people know a little bit more about that towards the end. But let's jump into this real estate. And so how did this get started for you? Like, how did we get to, I know you said fitness, but how did we get to real estate? How did this start for you?
So really,
I can't hear you. I don't know if it's me. Let's see. I can't hear you. It's like it went all the way out. See, this ain't nothing but the enemy.
Now.
Yes, okay.
Let me pull this off. So I was talking about just kind of my passion for real estate and how I just kind of fell in love with the process. So I was blessed to build a home, my first home back in 2016. And I just really fell in love with the process and how my agent guided me from beginning to end. And I fell in love then with the thought of becoming an agent. And I did not take that step at that time. But I think another reason that made me fall in love with the process of real estate is that I realized I had a gift for investing, real estate investment. And so I ended up purchasing a second home, which is my first investment property. And from there, I just said, I have a passion for this. I want to get my feet wet and jump in and really see what it's all about. And so I did. I think the last thing I'll share is that both of my parents passed away last year. And I think that really kind of sparked in me, if you have a passion for something, or if there's a burning desire to do something, do it, because life is just too short not to. And so from there, I just started grabbing hold to everything that I felt like God had gifted me to do or given me a passion to pursue. And I ran with it.
Yeah, I like that. The fact that, sometimes God puts things in our paths to kind of wake us up a little bit, and to really understand that, hey, like you said, life is short. So why are we sleeping on our dreams, or why are we not really working the gifts or doing the things that God really has called us or we desire to do? Like it was like a segue to you to kind of just take that next step. And I kind of see why God had me go there, because I know that there may be someone who may be watching live or maybe watching a replay who may be second guessing like a adventure or a business move or their next move, and just realizing that tomorrow is not promised. What are we waiting for? There's destiny. I said something to this effect earlier. Destiny is calling you. Are you going to answer? And so it's like really time for us to get up and do the things that God has purposed us to do. So we are so sorry about your loss. And I know that you've been going through that. And even through that dark season, that dark time, God still favored you and woke something up in you to walk in some purpose. And so, girl, the glory of God is here. I am just excited, man. I'm excited. Everybody has their own path and their own journey, how they got to where they are. And I think it's important that other people hear that, because there may be somebody out there listening or watching a replay and like, man, I see that she's gone through a situation, and if she can go through it and, overcome all of that and then still build her business or follow her dreams, that I can too. So, man, kudos to you, your walking testimony, and you're able to share, how you got to where you are after your adversities and after challenges. So I'm so grateful for you to be able to share that you followed your dreams. And you said something when you said investment, because that is something that a word that we don't hear often, or a lot of people in our community, they don't talk about investment properties and things like that. I know, for me sitting in my home, it has always been a question in my mind. Well, when you get married, or what if your husband is not here, or what are you going to do with your home?
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I could think of, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to invest. It's going to become an investment property. So tell us a little bit more about what's going on in the real estate market. How can you possibly help someone who may be looking to buy, looking to sell, or find those, or do something with some investment properties?
So let's back up for several months. Let's back up for the last 2 or 3 years, because we've been in a pandemic. And pandemic started probably early 2020. And we know that one of the first things that was affected by the pandemic is the economy. So the economy kind of tanked. And so what the government did was try to stimulate the economy. So by sending out things like stimulus checks, offering, financial assistance to companies to keep doors open. But one of the other things that happened with the pandemic is that interest rates to buy homes dropped quite a bit. And so throughout this pandemic, interest rates have been 2%, 3% to buy a home, which is great for a buyer. And great for a seller, because they can put their house on the market and it probably will sell very quickly. And so because of that, we have been we're in a seller's market, right? And so with a seller's market, you're going to have rapid home sales. I don't know if anyone can relate or has bought or sold in the last couple of months, but I mean, you could literally put a shoebox on the market and it will sell for $500,000. Okay. And so what has happened over the last month or so is that interest rates have gone back up to what interest rates normally would be. And so a lot of people have been scared about that. But if you think about it, the reason that interest rates were so low was because of the pandemic to stimulate the economy. So even though, so the average interest rate now is about maybe 6.75%, which is significantly higher than what it's been over the last several months. But understand, it's actually quite normal, because that probably is what the normal interest rate should be had we not been in a pandemic. And so a lot of people are waiting to see if the interest rates are going to drop back down, which, no man knows the future. But probably in order for those interest rates to go back down to 2 or 3% again, we would have to go into another crisis as a nation. And I don't know that we want to do that. So that's that part. Right now, what was a seller's market has become, I would still say it's a seller's market, but buyers have a little bit more buying power now and negotiating power. And so what you had before, I take the example of that shoebox, and I'm being sarcastic, but let's take the example of the shoebox that was put on the market 4 or 5 months ago, and it was $500,000. There were buyers who were competing to buy that property. That's not so much the case now. And so that shoebox on the market is sitting, probably has been sitting for like a month or 2 months, and the price is having to be reduced. And so buyers are not necessarily competing for it anymore. Buyers are saying, well, I'll buy it, but I want you to pay out my closing costs. Or I'll buy it, but I'm not going to buy it for $500,000. I'll buy it for $450,000 or $400,000, if that makes sense. So we're still kind of in a seller's market, but not as much as we were several months ago. Buyers have negotiating power now.
That's good. That's good. And I know that is a lot of people out there who are looking to buy or looking to sell. And so knowing that, where we are, the interest rates, said about 6.75, is that what you said?
Roughly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know a lot of people are, a little fearful with the interest rate being high, but then again, like you said, they were so low back then because of, the pandemic. And I can just be honest, I got my home, right at the start of it, right at the start of the pandemic. And it was the lowest that my realtor at that particular time seen in years. I know the favor of God was with me. And so if there be anybody out there who's interested in, getting a home, listen, don't let these things you continue to go after, your heart's desire and allow God to just, work those things out.
People are still selling their homes. People are still selling homes. People are still buying homes. I'm working with buyers now who are looking. I tell people this: if it's your time, it's your time, and that's just really the truth. And I don't say that because I'm a realtor. If it's your time, it's your time, and if it's not your time, it's not your time. But if it's your time, it's your time. About the right time.
And I love that. And even if it's not your time, don't get discouraged.
Correct.
Because your time will come and it will be smooth for you when it's your time. So I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for just clarifying that. So I know there may be some people who are watching. I see you guys. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining. If you have questions for Erica Baylor, if you would like to put them in the chat, you are so welcome to do so. As tonight we're talking about real estate. I want to jump here because I do have an interest in possibly getting a space for maybe an office space or maybe like a business space. So it may be some other people out there who are looking to do the same. What could you say, or how could you assist people like myself who may be looking for lease, properties, lease, or to work for businesses or?
Oh yeah. So as an agent, I'm able to do searches and assist people in getting rental spaces. Even if people are wanting to buy a commercial property, a lot of that is happening now, especially in the city of Birmingham. A real shift is happening, particularly near the downtown area. Lots of opportunities there. And so as an agent, a lot of people think that, we just kind of deal with how, residential homes and things like that, but we also deal with commercial as well. We're able to help find leases for people that are looking for office spaces, for sure. And a lot of that is happening now. So, before the pandemic, people were kind of renting office spaces. The pandemic hit, a lot of people went home. A lot of people kind of, lost clientele. Of course, the economy just kind of tanked there for a while, and people kind of moved their offices to their homes. And so we are seeing a decrease of people kind of coming back into the commercial property and renting. So.
Yeah, I definitely would say pandemic really hit a lot of people hard and a lot of businesses. But I think like you said, we are kind of like branching out. So I think business owners and entrepreneurs hit the rise during the pandemic as well. Too. So, you have a lot of people out here who are like myself, just stepping out on faith and like, okay, I'm moving out of my home and I'm ready to get that office space, business venue, or whatever the case may be. So, if there's anyone watching live or anyone who may be listening, and you're thinking about that, hey, listen, commercial spaces are available. And like you said, downtown is really picking up. Like they're doing a lot of different things down there as well. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Absolutely.
So let's keep talking. So you're in your real estate business, and now tell us about the actual company again.
So I work with Keller Williams Realty. So I'm out of the Hoover office. However, no matter where your brokerage is, you're still able to buy. You're still able to help with purchases all over the state of Alabama. So, but I'm actually located out of the Hoover office, Keller Williams Realty.
Awesome. And if someone is interested in buying, what is the process to get them to, work with you?
So to work with me, or just in general, the home buying process, no one's ever bought before?
Either or, both.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, and so really it's just a matter of reaching out to let me know that you want to work with me. We're really good about sitting down with our buyers and our sellers and just kind of telling them the process, what they are to expect. A lot of people, even people who have purchased homes, just like there are good teachers and teachers that are not so good, there are good realtors and realtors that are not so good. And I think the great realtor really sits down with the client and really explains the process from beginning to end. And so, the first thing is knowing your credit score. There are a lot of people who really don't know their credit score. They have a roundabout idea, but there are certain things that may affect your credit score than other things. And so knowing your credit score, knowing what it is that you desire, having a list. I always tell my clients, have a list of must-haves. What are your must-haves when you're buying? And when you have those must-haves, you won't waver from that, because there's so many things that you'll see that look really good, but at the end of the day, are you at the closing table signing off on a house that includes what you said you must have? Because once you sign, you're not stuck with it forever, but it is yours. And so you want to make sure that home, meets your needs. So I always tell my clients, have a list of must-haves. Determine how much, you can afford. I think, that's important. Sometimes people are afraid to buy because they don't think they can afford to buy, and so they continue renting. I'll share my personal testimony with the first house that I purchased. I actually passed up an opportunity to buy a loft that I was renting. The owners of the loft wanted to sell it to me, and I was young. I didn't have the kind of faith that I have now, didn't have the kind of knowledge that I have now, and I thought I couldn't afford it. And I ended up probably within the year building a house that was $30,000 more than what they were trying to sell me that for. All because I didn't realize my purchase power. And so it's always best to talk to a lender, find out what it is that you can afford, because what you probably think you can't afford, you actually probably can't. And some people are, continuing to rent because they think it's cheaper than home ownership, but that's not always the case. So, just knowing your purchase power, knowing what you can afford. Savings, make sure you save up as much as you can. There are certain things you don't want to do when you're thinking about buying a home or in the middle of buying a home. There have been people who have been in the process of buying a home and made the mistake of buying a car in the middle of the process. And, I've heard it happen before. So, when you're in the midst of buying a home, you don't want to make any sudden changes. You don't want to make any sudden moves. You don't want to buy any expensive purchases that can hurt your potential of closing on the house that you, so it's just all of those different things. Having all your paperwork in a row, your pay stubs, your W-2s, your bank statements, being able to speak to your rent history. Those are things that go into the pre-approval process. So, just a lot of those, making sure that those things are in place if you're thinking about buying.
Yeah, one thing too I hear is like develop a relationship, like you said, having that open communication with your realtor and whoever you're working with, and oh my goodness, you said have that list of must-haves. Because once you get that house, it may not have everything that you want, but if you sign it, but you really want a 2-car garage and you got one, are you able to live with the decision that, hey, I'm signing for a 1-car instead of a 2-car. So that's good as well. Having that list, having those list of things that you want, being able to talk to your realtor about certain things and being open and knowing, your spending power, where you are, credit, all that kind of stuff. So I hear that, that relationship piece is real
Yes.
important in the home buying process. And I can just, for anyone who's out there, like for me and my testimony, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Like I almost gave up on mine because I was like, oh my gosh, even though I had certain things in place, but it was just, for me, it was spiritually a war for me because I was the first in my family. So it was spiritually attacking that I had to deal with. And so I don't know, maybe you are a first time home owner, buyer in your family, or maybe you are doing this and you're, breaking some generational things, and it may be warfare. I think it's just being, have a good community around you when you're going through things like this, because that was for me. I had people around me who were praying for me. Like even when I went to the sign, this lady she didn't dent my Jeep, but she hit me when I was getting ready to close. I mean, the fight was hard. And I'm just talking about for me. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's just like to be aware, like how the enemy will work when you're trying to go and you're trying to better yourself and do some things. Like it was war to the end, like to the very day that I had to sign for my paper and get my keys. Like the enemy was coming after me real big. So, if there's anybody out there who's really interested, really want this, like it's attainable. Listen, if I could do it, anybody can do it. I can do it. Anybody.
But you bring up a good point, because you should pray. You should also pray, because even with your list of must-haves, and God desires to give us the desires of our heart, but God already knows your address too. And so it is important to seek God when you're buying a home, any kind of major purchase. But God knows what your home is important. Your home is your sanctuary. Where you live matters. Where you lay your head at night matters. It can be the deciding factor of whether you have peace in that place. And so I the homes that I have purchased, I didn't go looking for them. Those homes, that plot of land, the second home that I purchased, those homes found me. And it was because I prayed, I prayed, and God already knows where you're supposed to be. So ask him, and it makes that process even smoother.
That's good. Oh my goodness, this is so good, you guys. So let's shift gears, because I know that you also do some other things. So I know we're talking about real estate, but because she is just a gifted lady, I want you guys to really get the bigger picture of all of the things that she does. So tell us about the Be Made Whole. Like, what is that all about? And how are you, utilizing that today in this time, juggling real estate and your business, Be Made Whole?
So I started Be Made Whole at the end of 2020. And it's interesting because God gave me that name, Be Made Whole. And it was at a time, so I basically started a business probably about 5 months before my mom passed. And then my dad ended up passing 5 months later after my mom. And so, God is so funny when he gives you something, especially a business that helps heal people physically and help them be healthier. He requires you to be whole first. And so in the midst of starting a business, it's so funny that God would give me a business called Be Made Whole at a time when I was so broken.
Jesus.
Listen to me. I was like, I want to start preaching on here.
The revelation. Come on.
Yes, but here's the thing. How can I speak and minister to someone else if I'm not had to be made whole myself, right? And so, I just really have, I've always had a passion for fitness. I actually have been on and off working with a personal trainer for over 10 years. Her business is actually where I'm housed. And so when I got my certification, went through training and got my national certification, she opened her doors to me and she said, if you want to kind of start your business here, come on. And she really has blessed me. The fitness industry picked up during the pandemic because a lot of people went home, became sedentary. not eating as healthy, snacking a lot. The pandemic has been a stressful time these past few years. And a lot of people have said, you know what, hey, I need to take charge of my health and I need help. And so it really has been a blessed business venture for me. But I recognize and I realize that part of my fitness business is also ministry, because I find myself, just ministering to people. People are hurting. People have lost loved ones. People are grieving. People have been stressed for years through this pandemic. Some people were stressed about certain things before the pandemic. And I find it's almost just like a hairdresser. Most times when we go to hairdressers, we end up confiding in them about certain things because there's something more that we're needing. And I think with my clients, a lot of times I found the same thing. I think that this pandemic has really allowed us to recognize the importance of relationship. We've been separated. We've been working from home, we've been isolated, we've been afraid of each other because there's social distancing, and you gotta keep your distance, and it's this and it's that going around. And I think more now than ever, relationship is so important. And I just think it's a ministry that God has given me, that I'm not only, teaching you how to lift weights and showing you technique and helping you lose weight, I'm helping you heal as well. It's just a blessing.
Amen. Amen. Man, when I tell you ministry and purpose, boy, I tell you, when you walk into it, like when you really, woo, I don't know. God, listen, I know we're supposed to be talking about real estate, but God is talking to us about ministry and purpose and really like walking in your calling. And as you were talking, God was like, yeah, she helps heal and find homes.
Yeah.
She helps heal and find homes, help people find homes. Wow. So thank y'all again. I have a few people on here. We thank y'all so much for joining. We do have a question in the chat for you, Erica. Someone asked, how do I find out about homes for heroes?
Oh, okay. So that's a VA program. Whoever that person is, I can actually send them some information about that. So there are real estate agents out here that are actually have a special certification for like Homes for Heroes. I'm actually not certified in that. It's something that I've actually been thinking about, so I may consider that, but I'll be happy to send some information.
Okay. Well, we for that person in the chat, we have her information. We're going to drop it in the chat in a little bit. So if you want to get connected with her to know more about that program, she will get that information. She'll get that information to you, and you can get her email or I think the phone numbers and also will be available. So if anyone else who is listening live, if you guys have questions for Erica, you may drop them in the chat now and we will hopefully get those answered to you live. Listen, if you're watching the replay and you have questions, please drop them or send them to wearehelloruth@gmail.com and we will forward them over to Erica, or actually we'll be putting her information, her email address up as well. So you can actually just email her and she'll be happy to assist you. Man, what a great, he gave us a thumbs up. What a great, just a great segment on tonight about real estate and really like walking into purpose and being multifaceted. One of the greatest things that God has helped me be okay with is being able to juggle more than one thing and knowing that, whatever God wants me to be, I'll be. And so if he wants me to be that coach, I'll be the coach. But if he wants me to be the tutor, or he wants me to be the leader or the minister, then I'll be that as well. So, oh my gosh, this is amazing, Erica. Like I'm first of all, let me say this. Let me just back this on up. So I just really met. We met when?
Back in like June
of this year. Yeah, we met in June of this year, and we've been rocking ever since. I'm trying to get to her house, y'all, because she can cook. Oh, let me tell y'all. Oh, she made this good cake, y'all. She can cook. Listen, she can cook. And she made this good, what was it? What's the name of it? Pineapple cake?
It's a pineapple coconut cake. It's a family tradition in my family, and somehow I just picked up the knack for making it. I try not to advertise that because I'm supposed to help you get healthy. Okay,
I'm all off track. See, you better help me. Listen, because I'm about to put my other order in for Christmas. Okay. Listen, this woman of God made that cake at that conference. I said, ma'am, let me get that card right there. You get that card because I will be calling you. And yes, I did. She made my cake for my birthday. I was like, oh my goodness, she can cook, y'all. When I tell you, I'm waiting. When she getting some renovations done. Listen, when she tells me the house is ready, if she's throwing down the food,
come on.
I'm going to be there. The food, and she got a listen, gifted. When I tell y'all, oh my goodness, I thank God because like God, again, one of the things that I prayed for is like, you know, I'm a people person. I love meeting new people, and when I meet people and we just connect like that, whether we doing business, ministry, just, you know, or new friends, like I clinged on to her, and she and I have been, oh my gosh, we may not talk every day.
Yeah.
When we do connect, you hear me, it is amazing. And so like she's again such a very beautiful spirit, multifaceted queen, doing a lot of things. Again, like God just said, helping us heal and in homes. So yes, so what I'm going to do, because it's about 7:10, and we're getting ready to close in for our end of our chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull up information so that I can drop it down in the chat. If there's anyone out there who may be listening and they may be wanting to purchase a home, or I'll just say, you know, have questions about it. Leave a few last words for the listeners who may be on here wanting to purchase, thinking about it, or just, you know, what would you say to them? Yeah, just like, what would you say to them?
So the main thing is, you know, the news is talking a lot about interest rates and how they're going up, and how in 2023 they're predicted to continue to go up. Again, if it's your time, it's your time. So don't let that sway you. The second thing I'll say is know your purchase power, know your credit score. The third thing I'll say is make sure that you shop around for lenders. You don't have to go with the first lender that you talk with. If you have a relationship already with a bank or different banks, I would start with them because you've already invested in them. And so, you know, give them the opportunity to invest back into you. Credit unions tend to give pretty good rates compared to others. So always, you know, if you have a credit union in your repertoire that you bank with, start there. And then just know what it is that you're looking for. Because if you, and this is a ministry word, but even when we talk about dating, know what it is that you're looking for, because if you don't know what you're looking for, anything will do.
Listen, I'm on mute and my thing up there saying you got to unmute yourself. I said, do you, girl, rewind, say that again. For the people in the back, for me. Say that again.
So, you know what it is that you desire. Pray about that, you know, because again, you know, God already knows the end from the beginning. So there's already an address attached to your name. And you ask God to lead you to that address, he will do so. I'm a living witness to that. And so, yeah, those are the things I would say for anyone who's looking to buy. And then contact me. That's the last thing I tell you. Give me a call. I love to serve you. I love to help for sure.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, Erica, we thank God for you. We thank God
Thank you.
for your transparency on tonight, and just really like sharing your journey and your heart, or how you got to where you are today. It all started, something tragic happened, and it kind of sparked some, revelation how God does, how he does, honey, in the midst of those moments.
Yeah.
Revelation to really get you to start walking into your calling and your purpose. And now I have a new name for you, the queen that heals and sells homes.
You know,
That's a shirt. I'm telling you, that's a shirt. That's a shirt for you.
one thing I say, and I have it on my voicemail. I always say, whether you're looking for fitness or whether it's real estate, my desire is that you live well, and that's it. My desire is that you live well.
Wow.
And that's true. That's my desire for myself. That's my desire for others.
My desire is that you live well. Oh my goodness, amazing. Erica, thank you so much for taking out this time to share with our guests and the listeners on this evening. We have some people on Zoom, and we also have some people on Facebook Live. Listen, I have put her information in the chat. So if you want to get connected with her, you can call or email, or I think there's a Google Doc that
There's
you
a Google Doc.
Yep, if you want to know more, you want to get connected, want to, I think we had someone who was wanting to know about the Homes for Heroes. So if you want to utilize that information, go ahead and do so now. Listen, we will be back in the next few weeks with our next Let's Talk Fall series. So make sure that you follow us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, Instagram. Make sure that you get connected. You can also follow and know more about HR Ministries by going to www.helloruth.org. HR stands for Hello Ruth. I will not tell you how we got there. You're going to have to give me a moment, because that is a long, lengthy story how we got HR from Hello Ruth. But we do have women and men that follow this ministry, that we, work with and pour into, we collab with. And so we wanted to kind of get the Ruth part off, because we didn't want to just leave our men out, because we do have men who support this ministry. And so we branded it to HR. We have a lot of amazing things going on. Before I leave, I would love to share, if you are wanting to help us and partner with us, we have an amazing family. I will not say that family's name, because they are friends with us on Facebook, but we want to just do something special for them and their family. And so we are doing an Adopt a Family project for our Christmas project, our Christmas give back. And if you want to know more about that, you can also look on our Facebook page, but you can also go to our website, and it will show you how to get connected to our ministry to be a blessing this Christmas to a family who can deserve a little bit of love. One of the things about HR and what we are, we stand for, we love on people. We are big about trying to get into communities and help local communities. We've gone into feed the homeless. We've gone into local low-income communities. We've given out backpacks to kids. We've blessed people for Christmas. We've fed, we've done so many things, and we are just grateful for all of our partners and the people who partner with our ministry to help us do more. And so if you want to learn more, hey, visit our website, www.helloruth.org. We have a conference coming up in April, and more information is also on there. Lots of great things. And I'm not going to go on, because we'll be on another whole 30 minutes just explaining about all of the cool things we have. But again, we thank you so much for joining. Erica, God bless you and your business. We pray that from this segment and many other segments to come, that God will continue to just blow you up and do what he said he was going to do for your life. The glory of God is on you, Queen. I'm grateful to know you. I'm grateful to grow with you. And I am so for real, when that house gets ready,
Come on, I got you.
it's coming. And I do need a pound cake.
I got you. I
I
got
do need
you.
one for Christmas. I'm not gonna do for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna do it for Christmas. But God bless you guys. God bless you, Erica. God bless y'all. Thank y'all so much, Serena. I see you. Thank you, TG, and so many others who are on. Fit Pastor from Mississippi. What's up? Malini, that's my girl. She did my birthday pictures, y'all. She's a beast. And she came from Mississippi to do my pictures. Oh my gosh. So thank y'all so much. I see y'all in the comments. I will be reaching back out to you all personally in the comments. But again, thank y'all so much. Erica, again, we love you. Thank you for what you've done for me, my ministry, and you already know my other part of me. Just thank you.
Thank
And
you.
we'll be getting together soon, because you know things that we
Yeah.
talk about on the side.
Yeah.
So excited for what's to come, and we just speak many blessings over you.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome. Love you guys. Love y'all, HR. Y'all have an amazing evening.